Hi Scorpio, welcome to your November 2019 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. So happy birthday to all Scorpios. I am using the Wild Unknown Tarot deck because it's Scorpionic, so you should appreciate this. I'm not quite sure if there is, if this is going to seem like very dark, because I just have a little lamp on, but I don't know. It might be mood lighting, who knows. The heart of the matter is the Magician card, and I really love that this was the card that came up as a central theme for you in November, because the Magician card is connected to this idea of being the master of your own destiny and being self-empowered and, a conscious co-creator of your reality. And so there's a sense of empowerment with this card that I really resonate with. And it's interesting. I'm going to bring up the past position here where we have the Knight of Pentacles, Son of Pentacles, it's called here. And this is a card of that diligent worker who, puts in the time day after day to go after their dreams. It's actually not going after their dreams. It's actually just kind of, keeping the flow going, and maybe the person is very diligent so that they can collect enough money or earn enough money so they can buy a house or they can build up their bank account. And that's in the past position. So it's almost like you feel like I put in the time and now I feel like I want to take it to the next level, where either, you have the autonomy that the Magician card represents to be able to have a life that is more of your own. Like I see the Knight of Pentacles as somebody that works a 9-to-5 job, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And actually Scorpios, I think, are acclimated, a lot of you are acclimated to that type of lifestyle because you are a fixed sign and you like routines. But I'm saying this in a very generalized way. These readings are very, meant to be for everybody from one sign. So they can't be tailored to individuals. And some of you are not going to resonate with that and are going to say, hey, I don't want to be working a 9-to-5 job unless I want to work 9-to-5, and I might, want to do something else tomorrow. I don't want to have to be at somebody else's beck and call and all of those kinds of things. The Magician is about you creating a life for yourself that works for you, that is tailored to what matters to you. With the Knight of Pentacles, to me, it's like somebody that is kind of being very good at conforming to somebody else's expectations when it comes to work and doing the job, so to speak. So to me, there's more freedom with the Magician that you're craving, and this can just be a general theme in your life where you want more freedom to be who you are, to pursue what interests you, and less of that work grind. The Higher Message, another major arcana card, is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of tradition and marriage. Is part of that. It's connected to marriage. It's also connected to religion, and I would just say spirituality, although I wouldn't say necessarily mysticism, but that kind of part of life that is philosophical, that looks at the bigger picture and not just kind of the, the tunnel vision of the survival of the day to day, but the philosophy. Why are we here? What's going on? And so the Hierophant to me can go different ways depending on what the Knight of Pentacles means to you and what the Magician card means to you. I could see somebody who maybe, like, let's say you are of the age where you have not gotten married or found your significant other yet, and you want that part of life. Maybe you want to start a family. Maybe you want something that involves settling down with another person in general, whether or not you want children, and you feel like being in that work grind that the Knight of Pentacles talks about means that you can't have any kind of social life, or it's very limited and it makes it harder to do that. So it's really about, for some people, it's about considering what are your future intentions and how is your work life impacting that. With the Magician card, it's much more open-ended and coming from, self-creation, you kind of doing for yourself what you want rather than taking the lead from somebody else. And by the way, I just want to say that I'm sorry if you can hear any background noise. When I started it, there was nothing, but all of a sudden a train went by and it was very loud. And it's actually distracting me, but I have to kind of just keep going and stuff. The other thing with the Hierophant is that if you worked in corporate, I was going to say corporate America, but I know there are corporations around the world where you feel like you're having to be this conformist, perhaps. Maybe there's this sense of you have to do what other people expect of you, and that has kind of rubbed you the wrong way. That's another reason why the Magician card might be coming up, because the Hierophant as a spiritual message can say, how much of your life do you want to be, kind of like not disallowing, but de-emphasizing your individuality so that you can be part of a group, a collective. And that's kind of what the corporate life is like, from what I've heard. I've never worked in that type of environment, because I always wondered why people are so, they get so burnt out from that culture. And I think that might be the main reason why, although I don't know. But I've heard things about them, not allowing certain hairstyles, not allowing certain clothing. And for people who really like to be their own people, and I think Scorpio is one of these signs, you're not like Aquarius where you want to be like weird, and that's how you're different, but you just don't, you want to have your own way of doing things. And I think a lot of Scorpios it would bother them to have to kowtow to somebody else. So that might be going on for some of you, like how much conformity can you stand, and maybe that you don't like that. What crosses you is the the Seven of Swords. And I like this depiction of the Seven of Swords because it's kind of like a little bit sneaky, and that's kind of one of the possible interpretations. The Seven of Swords in the challenge position can be that you're having a hard time finding a way to leave in a way that you feel isn't going to burn any bridges. The Seven of Swords, one of the possible interpretations is that you leave a situation in a clever way, and that you don't really draw attention to yourself when you're leaving. And you may be finding it hard, like, how can I do this? I don't want any kind of negative, a negative reputation to follow me, because you may, with the Magician, may be taking those skills that you learned working for somebody else and doing it yourself, like being a consultant or what have you, and you want to keep that going. You don't want anybody to kind of like put in a bad word for you in the industry, so that you look like you're not reputable or what have you. So you may be kind of like trying to figure out a way to break up with, now this could even be like, if this is a personal relationship, break up with someone without them knowing that you've broken up with them. And for any kind of personal relationship, the Knight of Pentacles could be like a Taurus person. Either, I don't think that would be somebody that you just met, because the Magician card to me seems much more about being autonomous. So I don't see that you are doing this in order to get with a Taurus. I think that it's more like breaking up with a Taurus, and maybe in that case that person is rather possessive and wouldn't take it well. So you have to kind of figure out a really clever way to break up with them without being dishonest, but also without saying, yeah, I'm not interested anymore. And the Hierophant is also connected with Taurus. So that really emphasizes the Taurus in this reading, if this is a personal matter. And like I said, it's a card of marriage. Well, you may have realized somebody that you're dating is not somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And it happens, and it's not anybody's fault. It doesn't mean that person is a bad person. But you may not have the strong feelings for them. What's coming in is the Five of Cups. This is a card of mourning the loss of something. And I dropped the card. And this can be, if you, like, let's say you are leaving a job and you're anticipating the loss of this, that there are certain things you're going to miss. Maybe you're going to miss the friendships that you developed within a certain type of an environment, a work environment, or if this is somebody that is soon to be ex, there may be things about that person that you really respected and that you did like, and you feel sad that it has to end this way, but you can't see any other way for it to go. And the outcome is the Ten of Wands. This can be a card where you're working long hours. This doesn't mean that you're working for somebody else. This may be that you are trying to launch your own business. But whatever it is that you're doing, if you're trying to get over an old relationship, you may be, or a relationship that you want to be over, you may just be throwing yourself into your work. If you're somebody who is, maybe you've left the corporate world and you're trying to start something on your own, you may have to work many hours in order to get something off the ground. So, it's funny. I think, didn't I just do a Scorpio reading? I'm trying to remember. No, I guess that was a different sign. Because I was thinking that it was highlighting the area of work, but I think it was a different sign. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Scorpio. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. I have a new reading that combines a full-length natal chart reading and a full-length tarot reading for a special introductory price. You can see that and other readings at rainamoonastrology.com, and the link is below. Take care. Bye.